Everyone, happy Sunday. I wanted to come to you guys with a quick encouraging word this morning. I made a small reel, but I said that I would be speaking on obedience for the next couple of days. So I wanted to come to you with a word this morning, letting you know that God has made you enough. God has made you enough. Sometimes when we doubt God and we think that we aren't enough to be obedient to what He has called us to do for our assignment, it basically lets Him know that He did not do a good job making us. So sometimes we feel ill-equipped, sometimes we feel underqualified, and we're wrestling with if we're ready to do what God has called us to do and have what it takes to do what God has called us to do. And so we're wrestling with our assignment because of those things. But God wants you to know that it's not by your power or your might, but it's by His power and His might, and He will be with you. So the prophet Jeremiah had a similar situation, and God had to remind him that He had the right plans for him, and He had the right plans for him and the right future for him. And He also had to remind Jeremiah in chapter 1, verses 1 through 9, that he was equipped. He was not too young to go. And God said that He would give him the power to speak His word. And He had already ordained him and anointed him for the assignment. And the only thing that God required of him was to be obedient. And so sometimes we are dragging our feet because we don't trust God and we don't trust ourselves to make the first step in what God has called us to do. But here's the thing. So God wants us to know that what His assignment for us is bigger than our talent, because He wants us to solely depend on Him and realize that what it takes for us to accomplish our assignment comes from Him, and it will give Him the glory in the end. And that's what He wants. He wants us to not only operate in obedience, but in our obedience, know that the power will come from Him and will give Him all the glory. And so you don't have to be, this applies to any and everybody. You don't have to be a Christian, or you don't have to be a devotional writer or a Bible teacher, because we all have something that we are called to do. We all have something. As long as you have breath in your body, we all have a purpose. Good morning, sis. How are you doing this morning? And so whatever God is asking you to do, you have to ask yourself, will you do it? Because He literally created us to have the power to be able to do it through Him. So just ask Him for the energy, ask Him for the perseverance, for the endurance, ask Him for the wisdom, and ask Him for the strength to do it and to do His will for your life, whatever that may look like, and to just step out on faith. And so we just stand in gratitude, and we stand in prayer, and we ask God, and we thank God for the reminder of letting us know that it's not in our power, but it's in His power that we live, and that we have our being, that we have our being. And so just ask Him to help you each and every day to obey Him. And in the Bible, it says so many times, even when God was dealing with Joshua, He told us so many times of how to be courageous in doing whatever He has called us to do. So you guys have a great Sunday.